everybody? You're right on time for another ride on the Groove Line with your host, Chris Stevens. Hopefully, you all are doing well out there. And this is going to be a recorded version of the Groove Line. Well, they're all recorded, but this was an interview I did with a friend a while back on a different platform, but we're bringing it over to the Groove Line because we're talking about one of the greatest songwriters, producers to ever do it, Mr. Rod Temperton. Of course, he's written songs for Heatwave, Michael Jackson, George Benson, on it goes. So me and my dude Sonny, we got together last year and we talked about Rod Temperton. So hopefully you enjoy. As you can see to my left, got a guest. I got some company with me today. This brother right here, we've been chatting back and forth on Twitter and social media for probably close to a decade now.
Man, it gotta easily be over that at this point, man. If not a decade, more than for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've been rapping about music, movies, WWE, and some other things we can't say on camera. But we got a nice little connection here, and we're going to talk about one of the greatest songwriters and producers to ever exist, Mr. Rod Temperton. But first, let me introduce my boy Sonny to the channel. Welcome aboard, man.
What's good, y'all? It's Big Sonny, never the little one. Let's get it.
I appreciate you. All right, so as I said, we're going to be talking about Rod Temperton today, and this is probably this is the first time I've had a guest on the channel talking music. My boys Roy and Chris, we were talking about WrestleMania before, but we're going to talk about Rod Temperton today. So, man, Sonny, I'm gonna let you talk about just a little bit about Rod. What his music meant to you, and how you came across his greatness.
Man, so I'm an old soul, bro. My aunts, my mom, she was alive, R.I.P. My uncles, my older cousins, everybody was into music, and even still we into music now. It's a thing. But you know that, man, black families, they didn't party without some good music, and you gotta have that music on that's safe for work, cause the old people gonna get mad as a bitch if it's a whole bunch of cussing. They don't want to hear that. They don't want nobody popping ass. So it was always the old school stuff. I got into Heatwave personally with Always and Forever. That was the first Heatwave song I ever heard. And I was young and I was like, okay. And I always noticed when that shit came on, everybody stopped and sang, no matter what, even if they couldn't sing.
Yep.
So when I got a little bit older, got internet access, hearing the same music, I was always curious about who wrote what. So I went to go look up who wrote Always and Forever. Rod Temperton. Okay, interesting. And that's when I found out Rod Temperton was in Heatwave. Like, and then just thinking about the makeup of Heatwave is crazy. Some dudes from Dayton, a Czech dude, a Swiss dude, an Englishman, and then I think the OG lineup was a Jamaican dude, uh, Eric Jones. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But
It's Eric Johns. But yeah, he was
thank
Jamaican.
you, thank you, Eric Jones. So I thought the makeup was interesting, and it's a funk band. Like what? Okay. So doing the research and then seeing that Rod Temperton not only wrote most of the songs for Heatwave, wrote and arranged them, then we got to bring the mic work into play.
Yes. Yes.
Like my two favorite Mike songs, two of my top three are written by Rod Temperton. That's Rock With You. That's The Lady of My Life.
Yep.
My third favorite Mike song is Heaven Can Wait. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody in the comments. If you know, you know. If you don't, get familiar. But it's crazy because I think the one thing about Rod Temperton that was interesting to me is the fact that he was able to write such crazy, powerful music with simple words. And that's the thing that I've always admired about writers, especially when you're talking about love. Love is crazy, man. It's powerful. It can be beautiful or it can be devastating. And to be able to convey big feelings without using big stupid words that nobody can understand is it's a gift. It's a gift.
Yes, it is.
Or you know what I mean? Or that everybody can understand, using words that everybody can understand. Having to write big words, it's just like people like, what? And making people thinking your music is always cool, but you don't want your words to be out of touch. And that's what any genre, I think. So to be able to, like I said, write about something as powerful and amazing as love with simple words, but still convey big feelings, that's not something everybody can do.
No,
And that's what really got me interested. And it's not just love, like the party songs too, like the groove line.
oh, you already know how I feel about the groove line, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, that shit came on. I was listening to it last night talking to my girl, and I was telling her about this podcast. And I was like, man, this, you can't not sing when it come on. And if you don't know the words, you want to learn the words for the next time you hear it.
Yep.
You know. So I always thought that was very interesting about Rod Temperton. That just it's just effortless excellence every single time.
Yeah,
And you know,
we got to go ahead. Speaking of, you said always and forever, but we gotta hit people between the eyes right now with the best Heatwave love song of all time. You know which one I'm talking about.
man, come on, man. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. If we talking, I know you talking about the start of the story.
Of course,
Bro, come on,
of
man.
course.
Man, stop. Stop, man. If this wasn't my house, I'd knock something over.
Yo,
Listen, that's the one in everything about that song from start to finish is excellent, man. And it is just like the beginning, it catch you. And then the bass come in. It's just, man, stop. Man, let me find something to throw real fast. But, oh,
I'm telling when you mentioned that the simplicity of the song, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not anything really complex in the lyrics. It's just angel, let me be part of all the love you are. I mean, it really just. I mean, the first bar right there. I mean, that's what more do you need? What more do you need?
that man said, "Angel, come to me." What, bruh, what?
I
And
really
then,
finding out that
oh,
finding out that he was actually married after all of these years after he died. It was like, wow, this woman must have really inspired him because golly, when he writes.
because man, that man was under love.
I just don't know how you can, not. I mean, we're Quiet Storm heads. I mean, and there are a lot of people out there that are probably going to watch this that are Quiet Storm fans as well. I don't
Right,
know
right.
why Star of the Story is not in everybody's top 10 when we talk about Quiet Storm.
Because they
It
don't
has.
know ball. And you know what? I feel like it's one of those things that I don't know. This could just be a personal thing. When I was growing up, I didn't hear that shit on the radio. And I'm an 80s baby. And I listen to old stations. Like, why was y'all not playing that on why was y'all not playing that? I didn't really get into the start of the story until I became an adult. I think the first time I heard it, I was hold on.
I pause it. All right.
Please.
All right. So yeah, when you talk, I mean, yeah, when we talk about Star of the Story, it was one of those songs that didn't get on the radio. I mean, I'm like you. I didn't find out about it until adulthood either because Tony Brown, God rest his soul. Oh my God, I miss that man so much. Like if you're from Philly and you hear the name Tony Brown, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And of course, you spent
Mhm.
time in Philly, so you know who I'm talking about.
I know a little bit, man. I know a little bit.
Yeah, Tony Brown was a DJ who did the Quiet Storm on WDAS for 40 years. He had strokes and then he passed away in 2021.
Damn.
And on old school Thursdays, he would just literally play everything from like 1967 to about probably 95 ish or so on Thursday nights for 5 hours nonstop. And and then when first time I heard Star of the Story, I was like, well, wait a minute. I was like, and then he was like, in that baritone of his, he was like, Star of the Story, Heatwave. I was like, what the fuck? All I knew was Groove Line and Boogie Nights and Always and Forever.
Mm-hmm.
And no half stepping. But yeah, Oh, yeah. First time I heard Star Story, I was probably like 22 or 23. I was like, ooh, let me add this. And then it's just been a part of every, shall we say, grown folk time playlist. Every,
Ah, say no more, sir. Indeed.
yeah.
It's and even like it's a good, quality, intimate time song, but it's also just like a good lover boy, lover girl song
Hmm.
because it's like you can feel it. And then if you know the words and you can really sing to it, then you really start feeling it. And like I was saying before, it's just so many really excellent elements of the song. And sometimes people don't know how to arrange all of those powerful elements together. And the way they just flow is
Yes.
so perfect. Like the intro is what capture you. And it's just like is like hypnotizing almost. And then
Yeah.
you can find yourself humming it later in the day. And then as the other instruments build and the intro builds, and then that and I don't know who that is singing. I don't know. Is it Johnny?
Yeah, it's Johnny.
Yeah. And then Johnny come in with the I'm not about to try to hit that.
Oh, no.
But
You see,
yeah,
I didn't do it.
yeah.
I'm not going
We
to do it.
not doing that. No, we not doing that. We
Oh, no.
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 Not here. Not here. We're not doing that. But
Mhm.
the way he comes in and it's just so smooth. And then you listen to the lyrics, and the lyrics are you can almost see it happening as he's singing it. And that's what music is, man. Especially love songs, they pull you in like that, and they just make you feel that shit. Even if you're not in love and you singing that shit, you know what I mean? So, and then I noticed that a lot further down, like Johnny started writing more as well. And the earlier albums, they were pretty much all written by Rod. And then the second album, Johnny got in on a couple songs, and then the next album, he got in on I think 3 songs. So he started getting in his writer bag too. And I don't know, I don't think it would be completely inaccurate to say that a lot of his writing may have been influenced by working with Rod too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so I think not only is he making great music, but he almost like a mentor to his bandmate, so his bandmate can get into his bag too. And then even the songs that Johnny wrote, they still go great with the ones that Rod wrote. So it's like it's these levels of like synergy among the group. Like that original lineup, man, it was something serious. Like Central Heating is a classic. If you love music and you don't love that album, even if you're not like super big on Heatwave, and first of all, I wouldn't see why you wouldn't be. Like
Right.
that's a red flag right there.
Yeah.
But as a musician, you gotta appreciate that album because it's great.
It starts from the very beginning. Like, put the word out. Oh my God. Like we just lost Bilbo recently. He was the last.
Damn.
He was the last original member, the drummer Bilbo. If you listen
Mm,
to put the word out and just listen to the drums from start to finish. I mean, don't. I mean, just it's a 6 or 7 minute song, so it's a little. In the world we live in today, if a song is anything over 3 minutes, then people don't want to listen to it. But if you got 6 spare minutes, 6 or 7 spare minutes, just listen to the drums on Put the Word Out. Bilbo, a white Czech Republic dude, was killing the jazz drums and the disco drums and the funk drums on the same damn song. Like, just my Heatwave is just one of the most mind-boggling bands that ever exist.
it's
Period.
genius, man, because you think about like what do y'all know about this, and they like, yeah, we gonna show you what we know about it. And like I said earlier, it's just a lineup that you just don't really think about. You don't think about the Czech dude and the Jamaican guy and the Englishman and the dudes from Dayton, and I might be forgetting a place, but you just don't think about those different backgrounds coming together and then making the type of music they made. And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna see what's up. And then they was killing that shit too, like really knocking it down. Man, come on, man. And for me, it's kind of like I feel the way about Heatwave that I do about Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to sing is great, but the like being a band, not just a group. Boys to Men was a group. Heatwave was a band,
Yeah.
and that's another aspect of being into them. Like they played too, so they sang and they played, and all the writing was done in house. Is what's not to love, especially like if you love art and you love musicianship, like that's it right there. It doesn't get better than that. Everything is done in house, and everything is done in house well too. So like it's crazy, man. And knowing that Rod Temperton was the brains behind not only the lyrics but the arrangements is what really is just like, damn, man. Like he was really the nucleus of this cell.
Yeah, and
Not saying the other band members weren't, just as important as he was. That I'm not saying that at all. Everybody is important. But yeah, man, like he really did it.
yeah, and I think you bring up a great point about everybody being self-contained because back in those days, I mean, we weren't even born, but those, I mean, we're researchers, we're music lovers at heart, so we went and looked this stuff up.
Right.
We're not complete experts, but we are very much well versed in this era of music.
Yeah,
In
we
the
know a little something.
Yeah, we know a little bit. In the 70s, if you were a band, you had to be dope. I mean, there was no, I mean, as the Heatwave song goes, ain't no half stepping. I mean, you literally had to, you had to have somebody who could sing. You had to have somebody who could, carry the groove with the drums and the bass. You had to have somebody who could play rhythm guitar. You had to have a really good horn section. And you had to have somebody who was writing your stuff to make it all come together. And Heatwave just fused all those elements like few bands at the time. I mean, you got to put Heatwave up there in like that upper tier, like with the Isley Brothers, with you know Parliament Funkadelic.
Absolutely. I was just about to say Parliament.
Yeah, I mean everybody, people will tell people that were around will tell you that Heatwave probably doesn't get enough credit for the stuff that they did. Before of course Johnny's tragic accident near the tail end of '79, beginning of 1980.
R.I.P. man. R.I.P.
Yeah, and I mean he lived a long time after that. I mean, actually, he was the one that mentored Teddy Pendergrass through his spinal cord injury at first. So a
I
lot of
didn't know
people,
that. Wow.
yeah. So I mean, it was like they had Johnny talk to Teddy after Teddy had his accident. So Heat Wave just not just affecting the culture of music, but just you know trying to get Teddy Pendergrass to not go off the deep end because that was a real thing because people really took that accident and ran with it and tried to humiliate and shame him. But it turned out to be he said, you know what? And after he talked to John, he said, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm gonna live through this. I'm gonna make it work. And
And
he
he
did.
kept it going,
He
Still,
did
it was
25 years after,
excellent.
over
Right.
25 years after that. So, and so did Johnny. But yeah, just and now that we've discussed Heat Wave, we got to talk about we talk about this a lot in the sports terms, because of course I'm a sports writer. We just experienced, I work for HBCU outlet. We just talked about a coach that was so good that another organization came and got her. So Rod Temperton puts Heat Wave on the map. And the dude, y'all know the dude, Chicago born, Seattle bred, producing music for as long as any of us and our parents, and probably some of y'all's grandparents.
Motherfucking Quincy boy.
Quincy came and got him. Quincy came and got Rod Temperton to say, "Yo, look, I got some work for you. Don't worry. I mean, yeah, you can still do your stuff with Heatwave, but I'm telling you, this work I got for you, it's gonna change your life." And it is one 20-year-old from Gary, Indiana, by the name of Michael Joseph Jackson, and he's recording this album called "Off the Wall." Rod starts writing stuff for Off the Wall, and his career just takes off into the stratosphere after that. Heatwave kind of gets left behind, which sucks. And then, of course, Johnny's accident didn't help. But Rod Temperton just became like a man in demand. Like he was one of Quincy. When you are Quincy Jones's right-hand man.
Man. You know how like recruiters, like college recruiters, that don't go down to the school, talk to the athletes, do their thing, right?
Yep.
Quincy didn't do that, man. Quincy went to the house, ate dinner, was playing with the little brother, was playing Uno, was washing dishes,
Yeah.
helping grandma cut the pound cake. But Quincy was in that thing, and Rod said, "Yeah, all right." I hate that Heat Wave got left behind too, but It's one of those things, man, and we know how music is. There are very few groups that I can think of whose lineups did not change no matter what the groups went through.
Right.
At least not drastically. The first group I can think of, SWV. They went through a lot of stuff, their lineup never changed. Another group I can think of, the Clark sisters. Their lineup changed just a little bit when they lost Denise, but both of those groups went through so much, and the lineup never changed.
Yeah.
Um, that's not the case with a lot of other groups. So, I mean, the situations changed, so the lineup had to change with Heatwave, and yeah, that sucks because we lost out on that original formula. And I know for the guys, it wasn't the same either, but for what it did for Rod and for what that move with Quincy did for MJ, like, and now it's like you think of MJ's greatest hits, you think of Rod Temperton. Then you think of that greatest album, you think of Quincy. Like it's like a 3-pack, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just the stuff wrote for that Rod wrote for Michael is just, man. It's the same thing with Heatwave. Simply put, words about love that are beautiful, lady in my life. Simply put, words about getting your groove on, dancing all night, and rock with you, bruh.
Mhm.
Every time I hear rock with you, I want to skate. I got 40-year-old knees, bro. I'm not, but every time I hear it, I just want to be like, go get my girl, like just couple skates, like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's that feeling, and he took it from his group. Like I always wondered if that was just the formula with Heatwave, but that was a ride too. And he's like, I'm not just a one trick pony. I can do stuff outside this group. Look, and then Thriller, and then off the wall, and Thriller. Like it just,
I just it's
man,
remarkable,
it
and
hit different.
it does because when you think about, I always come back to that video of DMX at Christmas time. God rest his soul. Oh my God, I miss DMX so much. But yeah, I always think about that
Man,
video of
long
Christmas
live.
him at Christmas time with his family jigging the lady to Baby Be Mine. That's another Rod Temperton smash. And it's an up tempo joint. Like Sonny said, Rod was just as good, with dance floor hits as he was with love songs. But yeah, just watching Rod Temperton's career just take off like that, it probably had to be tough for Heatwave, but I know they're probably proud of him at the same time because it's like if you're a teacher, you see your kids graduate, do what they supposed to do. It's like, yeah, it's over, but it's still a happy end to the story.
Yeah,
And
like I hate to see you go, but that's my baby. You know what I mean?
and Rod has another song to his credit that a lot of people forget about, and it was a cover originally because a lot of people don't know this because Anita Baker, when she put out Rapture in '86, my favorite song off of Rapture is Mystery because the way that's arranged by her and Michael Powell is just like, it's another one of those Quiet Storm songs that doesn't get enough love because if you listen to the beginning of Mystery, it's like this really, these twinkles and finger snaps, and it's almost like you see it in your mind. The sun is setting on a long, hard day at work. You come home, your baby's there, and it's just y'all alone in the world, just enjoying each other's company. Mystery was originally recorded by this jazz band called the Manhattan Transfer. And Rod Temperton wrote that for them in '84. Nita covered it in '86. So Rod Temperton, by extension, has a writing credit on probably the greatest, one of the 5 greatest albums by a female artist of the 1980s.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because when I was doing my research and my notes for this podcast, I came across another song that Rod Temperton wrote that I absolutely love, which is again an example of the power of strong love and simple words, and that's "You Put a Move on My Heart." Tamia sang it for Q's Juke Joint. I did not know that he originally wrote it for an artist named Mika Paris or Micah Paris. I may be pronouncing that first name wrong.
I know
And
that.
she sang it in 1993. And Tamia re-recorded it for Q's Juke Joint in '95. I had no idea that that was a cover.
Me neither. Me neither. I just learned that just now.
See, and See, man, we learning, we teaching and learning. Like it's, and he just been writing stuff. Like I was reading that, and like I said, I've loved that song since it dropped, and I was a young cat when that joint dropped, and I was reading it, and I was like, oh, okay. So, man, I think after I read that, I was just like mind blown. So
Yeah,
like he's writing songs, and then other artists are covering it, and I have to find the original version because I would love to see the differences in arrangement and how each artist approached singing it. You know what I mean?
right.
The original version versus the one that Shania and Q did. And I'm just like, it just blew my mind, man, because I always, like I said, I always thought that that was written for Tamia. So like he been out here, like not just MJ, not just Heatwave, like he been moving. And then you think about all of the samples of his work that he got credits on too. Like rent him his money.
Bad work,
And man,
bad.
now I know why he was such a recluse. He ain't had to do shit. Just stay in the
Exactly.
house. Just stay in the house and count his money.
I mean, we're artists by nature. So the things that I mean, everyone thinks an artist wants to be completely famous world out there. Nah, man, we just want to live. And Rod Temperton to me has had one of the perfect stories that, you know, I always say that artists that are successful create because they want to, not because they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And Rod literally just after a while said, you know what? This money is adding up. I'm good. I'm chilling. And he chilled right up until, he got called to that big music studio in the sky. And
Man, you know what's funny? I remember a conversation that you and I had, and I was talking about how much I love him. And this is when I lived in LA. And I was like, man, it'd be crazy if I run into him. And you was like, yeah, bro, that's not gonna happen. He was like, he's a recluse, bro. He is not. It's not gonna happen. And I'm just like, fuck, because I started looking into it, like you never, well, not never, but there are very few interview videos with him. Um, I remember he did some comments on, was it Thriller? Like there's a special edition of Thriller, and he's doing comments or commenting on some of the work he did. I
yeah,
think it might have been. I don't know. I don't remember. It was Thriller or Off the Wall. But like, there's not a lot of videos and interviews about him. There were very few pictures of him, and I'm just like, damn, he really just in the house somewhere. Like he could live next door. Probably not, but he could.
yeah,
And that's it, man. He got in. He did what he wanted to do. He enjoyed himself. He made some incredible art, and he said, "You know what? I'm good." Went to go live with his life and his with his wife. I mean, in his many different houses, just enjoying life, just chilling. And but like a lot of times, I think about what it would be like to be Rod Temperton driving somewhere, and then the song you wrote come on the radio.
whew,
Like, imagine being Rod Temperton just driving to CVS. I don't know why he would do that, but whatever. Just I'm working on something here, and Rock with You come on the radio, and the car next to you got it on, and they turn it up and start singing. Or imagine driving around and you pull up on somebody and they singing a song you wrote. Like it's crazy.
yeah. I think what probably blows my mind the most is that you know it's the stuff that people probably wouldn't suspect. Like imagine, like people don't. I mean, we know that he wrote "Stomp" for Brothers Johnson, but that's one of the songs the OGs. That's a shout out to my guy Free Ryan Smith when he posted on Twitter. He said, "Let's make an old black man's motorcycle playlist." Stomp is on that motherfucker.
Hey, that's a cool dude, man.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a cool dude.
Yeah,
That's a cool dude.
I gotta get him on here one of these days. But yeah,
Absolutely, man. I would love to hear that, man.
yeah, but Stomp is absolutely on that playlist. And imagine Rod Temperton pull. I mean, there's a motorcycle group in my hometown called the Thunderbirds, all black dudes and black women, and they love stuff. So if you can imagine black motorcycle gang or not motorcycle gang, motorcycle group in LA, there's a bunch of older brothers, like we'll say probably boomer, early Gen Xers, and Stomp is banging from their Harley Davidsons.
Man,
And
they
Rod Temperton's at the light, like, yeah, I wrote that too.
just like I can just see him being like, yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
like and for me now, I think, and this is going back to his songwriting ability and what he's able to do with words. For me, I think an artist that's comparable to having that same kind of gift is Kenyon Dixon with R&B, and then Amber Navin from Moonchild. You know, I go crazy over Moonchild.
I still got to get
And
into that. I still got to get into that.
oh man, come on, bruh, come on to the other side. It's so great over here. They have the most incredible concerts, man. It's just so much energy and so much love. I think I've been to see them 4 or 5 times. Man, I'm in Dallas. I flew from Dallas to Columbus last year to go see them.
Ohio,
Yeah.
nice.
And that's what I'm from Cleveland, so
Cleveland,
well,
Cleveland,
man, you already
definitely
know. You already
in the
know.
house, in the house. I had to sing it like a Crazy Bone did on Thug Mentality. That's one of my favorite songs.
Bruh. Man, hey, them boys did us good, man. Boom. Yeah, Bone put Cleveland up there. But like for sure, like it's just and definitely getting into Moonchild. Start from the beginning. Their first album is called Be Free,
Okay,
and it's great. And it's interesting to see the progression of their talent and their writing and like Amber's writing. All three of them write, and all three of them produce, and they play instruments. Like it's the same thing.
yeah.
And for me, they're like switch because they'll play different instruments during the set.
Ooh,
I gotta send you a picture. I have Andres, one of the guys in the group. He's standing at a keyboard wearing a guitar but playing the horn.
that sounds awesome.
Bro, it is. Listen, I'm not a photographer. It's one of the best pictures I've ever taken. And I wasn't even doing it for nothing. But then when I was just swiping through the pictures one day, I was like, this is insane. But it's that same kind of thing with Moonchild. It's that the in-house writing, the the production in-house, seeing them live and sing these amazing songs, and then seeing them play the instruments as well. So it's the same kind of feeling I get when I listen to Heatwave. It's different genres of music, but it's that same excitement seeing the musicianship and hearing the work that's done in house and then seeing them perform it all. Like it's amazing. So I think you will like them, and definitely give them a try. Um,
Absolutely. And since we're talking about bands and self containment and all of that good stuff, we missed out on a great era because I mean we're both just entering our 40s, so we weren't around in the 70s when you had literally probably 15, 20, 25 bands, competing for spots on the chart or what have you. But do you think we'll ever get back to that era of musicians really jamming out and performing together, or is it just too far gone?
the the realist in me wants to say it's too far gone, but I believe in the art, man. You
Yeah,
know, and I believe just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So it might be a young band of 19-year-olds playing Heat Wave somewhere right now. I don't doubt it actually because now that like and I hate to say this because it's gonna make us sound old and also, crazy, but it's different now. And kids have more access to stuff. We didn't have this access to stuff until we were older.
hmm,
Now an 11-year-old can hear their mom hearing the Anita Baker song and hit a button on Shazam and find that song and then add it to their Apple Music playlist. So and then like that's the kind of stuff that gets people interested in instruments, hearing songs over and over and over and over. That's what did it for me. I play bass. I'm not great. I wouldn't put me in no band at all, but I can play by ear and that's how I started. And it's still fun to me hearing songs I love and seeing how close I can get to the thing. So I don't know, man. I just don't see a lot of kids or younger people or even younger like adults slightly younger than us. I don't see a lot of them playing instruments anymore.
Right.
And another thing that got me into just instruments in general was in junior high, I was required to take chorus or band. I can't sing. It was an easy decision.
Yeah.
So I started playing clarinet. And then when I got a little bit older, the band was bigger, so there were more instruments. And then I got hip to jazz band, and in jazz band they were playing bass and they were doing all this other stuff. And you know what I mean? So I just question the exposure. Like growing up, I know that a lot of program. This is another thing that schools don't have money for music programs
Yeah,
anymore.
we're literally watching like private schools and charter schools just snatch money away from public schools, like right now as we're talking. So, of course, there's not going to be money for like things like arts and all of that, and that's devastating. I mean, because I'll never forget. Talk about another band that we don't talk about enough, the Barcades. Never forget their unsung episode where their trumpet player Harvey Henderson said, "We're going to have two generations of black kids that don't play music, and then there's going to be a white kid that says, 'Come on, let me show you guys how to play the blues.'" And it's like he's like, black people invented the blues. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, if that ain't, bruh, that's wow. That's so accurate. Like what you know about that? That's our shit, but barely.
yeah,
Like you know what I mean? And not having the resources for that is another thing that's killing that growing up. Listen, I just went home for my uncle's party, right? My uncle just turned 75, man. It's a beautiful thing.
God bless
Seeing
him, man. Happy birthday.
man, man, the patriarch of our family hitting 75, and then seeing the patriarch of our family holding the youngest member of our family, man. I in that moment, bro, it was just something amazing.
That's awesome.
But for my uncle's party, he had a band there, and the band was my mom's siblings' childhood friend. So like, and they playing all these old jams, and I'm just like, okay. So hearing when Unc got off the floor, he was taking a break from the band. He was telling the story about how when he was younger and he was in school, he started playing instruments. And I'm just like, and I wanted to be like, damn, they had band back then, but
Mm-hmm.
I ain't about. He would have been like, "What boy? Nah, nope, not doing that. No sir, no sir. I'm gonna just sit here and listen to this story and be like, okay, all right, I got you. I see you. Nah. So like, and that's why I brought up Spotify earlier because essentially it's up to the exposure at home because they're not gonna have those opportunities at school anymore to play in the band or to get access to instruments. For us growing up, it was we could be in a band. And I know back in the day, the school would provide the instruments. We had to rent our instruments because the schools didn't have money.
Mm.
But they had, but like there was a music store that had programs that lets you rent for like, I rented my clarinet for 15, $16 a month when I was in school. So it was affordable. Fortunately, we were able to do that, but I know that everybody couldn't. If there was a way to get more resources back in the schools, and I don't even know how that would be a thing, but like we got to start investing in the schools because that's where that start.
Yeah,
But even without the access at school, I think it's important for people who are raising children to support their kids' artistic dreams. Maybe you want them to be a doctor, that's cool. But on Saturdays, let the kid play guitar. Let them get some drum lessons. Go buy a cheap bass. You can find one on Amazon for $50. So it's just I think it's about investing in talent. And that's not even with kids. Even somebody that's 55 years old and want to start playing the keyboard, get one. Do it.
I'm not 55, but I'm gonna try. This inspired me to try again because I have a guitar that I don't play. I have a keyboard that I don't play. I have a MIDI keyboard because I used to do these really crude instrumentals on a GarageBand. Maybe I'll upload a couple for y'all on this channel one day.
Do it, man. I would love to hear him, bro.
Actually, I think I still have my SoundCloud up. I might send you my SoundCloud when we're done if I can
Yeah,
find it.
there you go.
But yeah, there's so much, that you can do to, immerse yourself into music, as Sonny is saying, and it's like that's why I wanted to have him on because on this channel, I love people who appreciate music the way I appreciate music. And when Sonny was like, "Yo, you ever talk about Rod Temperton on your show yet?" I was like, "Nah, we can do that together." So
Man, I was like, let's go. I was like, let's go, bro. We gonna make this happen. It was no way I could pass this up, man, because I remember you and I like always having tweets about him. Like I would say something and see you, or you would say something and I would see it. And I remember us even tweeting when he passed, and I was just like, man, no.
Because it was the same. It was the same. It was like the same. It was 2 weeks after CashApp died. It was so crazy because 2000
was it 2016?
We lost so many people in 2016. We lost Natalie Cole, Maurice White, of course Prince. I still ain't over Prince. And then of course later on that year we lost CashApp, who I consider to be one of the greatest producers to ever live, and of course Rod Temperton, who of course is probably one of the GOAT songwriters. Matter of fact, we're gonna close this out with this. Where does Rod Temperton rank on your songwriter producer list?
Me personally, number one.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm biased, but it's the connection that you dream about feeling with an artist. And as somebody who make music, I feel like it's the connection you dream about making with your listener, to just hook somebody into your craft and you just doing your thing. And it's like, I know you just doing your thing. That's why I'm fucking with you, because it's excellent. Like Rod Temperton is number one, man. It's the versatility. It's the ability to arrange. It's the ability to write these songs. It's the ability, and even what also appeals to me is the uniqueness of the samples of his work and how it still sounds good, and how a lot of artists are sampling his work without compromising the sample, making it something weird or doing something to it that you don't even recognize. Like this, the samples still have integrity, if that makes sense.
I know exactly what you're talking about because you mentioned "Lady in My Life." LL Cool J sampled that for "Hey Lover." Yeah, "Hey Lover" is probably the dirtiest Mac song to ever live. But
Ooh, silver medal, dirty Mackin' boy.
Man, you only knew her 5 months. Besides, he drink too much and smoke too much. Like, why you in that man smoking habits? Come on, Todd, relax. He still has me blocked for accidental racist, by the way. I still love
it. And why you know he drink too much? Are you parked outside the liquor store or?
Hello, right? He just nosy. But
damn, again, bro, just take the woman. Don't worry about what he doing. Just take the woman if you don't listen. Don't. But I love that song though. Like they did that, and yes, it is such a dirty Mackin' song. But like that, you know it immediately.
And just the fact that, like you said, the sample still has integrity. I mean, it's not like a ripped apart, shredded version of "Lady in My Life." You can still hear Michael singing "There'll Be No Darkness Tonight" if you listen closely. So that's the perfect. Yeah, I mean, Rod is probably, to me, Stevie is always going to be my goat. Like, unless Stevie, and Stevie probably is probably one of the most pure people to ever exist. So I don't anticipate any foolishness coming out about Stevie. But even if some foolishness were to come out about Stevie, it would be really hard for me to take him off my number one. But it's probably Stevie, Rod Temperton, Prince. I'll leave that as my top three. And then, of course, my guys from Philly, Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, and the late great Tom Bell are right after. So I can't
wait. Boys ain't that nice, man.
Man, that TSOP, man. Questlove was supposed to be doing a documentary. I ain't heard nothing about the documentary, man. I'm trying to. I might have to DM him, just be nosy, like, yo, Quest.
Yeah. I need some Questlove driven docs, man, because that man is a fucking walking encyclopedia, like a whole set of encyclopedias.
Yes.
That boy ain't missing no volumes.
None.
Not a single one. And I would love for him to tap into that and just make hella documentaries about the stuff he know and the stuff he knows and the stuff that inspires him, and like just make all that, man. Make all the music documentaries because that's how we keep it going. And so, bruh, a Questlove driven Heatwave documentary.
Phew.
Get the families, get the former members, like or the people that knew the former members, I should say, since the OGs are all gone. But like, get people who knew them that are still here, people who they inspire. Like, I would love to see a Heat Wave documentary, man. I would love that.
Yeah, I think Roy Carter. He was one of the guitarists that came on after Too Hot to Handle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still around. I think he's still around. I know Damon Johns is still around. I think because he wasn't an original member either. But yeah, I know Johnny's gone. Keith died not too long ago. Like I was following Keith on Twitter for a little bit, and of course we just lost Bilbo. So yeah, I mean I think it's important that we reach out to the ones that we have left from that era because there aren't.
Absolutely.
Because Tom Bell died. Patrick Adams died. If you don't know who Patrick Adams is as a disco producer, please Google him and just be amazed at the quality of underground disco hits that man put together. Like some of his stuff, like it's outstanding. And Tom Bell and Patrick Adams were the two people I absolutely wanted to meet, never got a chance to. So if I'm ever in Philly and I see Kenny and Leon walking around, I'm absolutely stopping on the street. I don't care.
As you should, man. As you should.
Them Fruit of Islam bodyguards beat my ass. So what? I just want to meet. I just want to meet. I don't care, bro.
Let's rethink that part, bro, because I can't have you getting me down out here, man.
They can stomp me in Hashalai however the fuck they want. I just want to meet Kenny Gamble. I don't care. You just go bam, bam, bam. You running up on Mr. Gamble? No. I'm a fan.
Maybe they picked you up. You like, damn, man.
People gonna be looking at me like Finn and Priest and Jimmy was looking at JD McDonough on Monday night.
Man, they gotta get JD out of here. Like they gotta trade him in for a party sub and a Bluetooth speaker, man. Because that's gonna be another show, bro. We got to do a wrestling show too.
We have to do a wrestling show. We don't want to get off track here, but yeah. Thank y'all. Yo, this really went longer than I expected. We almost made it to an hour, but yeah, this is gonna be. We're gonna cut it off here and give you guys so you can get this in digestible pieces because 45 minutes of music talk is pretty good enough. So I want to thank my boy Sonny for coming on. And we want to thank you for riding with us on the Groove Line this week. Greatly appreciate y'all. As always, contact information will be in the description below. Don't forget to like and comment on the videos so more eyes and ears can be on this channel. And don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you can be notified of all the new content that drops on this channel, which you have come to find out happens very regularly. So thank y'all for riding with me on the Groove Line. Until the next time we ride, y'all be good or be good at it.